You're doing a great job. You know, it takes a second. Hello. How are you, my friend? Hello, guys. Good are you?
We're gonna get ready to get started in just a minute.
That girl told you to paint.
It was so sad because last week my back's been out and I scheduled a massage. So I go over and there's friends there painting. And then I get there, I paint for a little while. I'm like, okay, I got to go for my massage now. And I left everybody there working. Radical self-care. Hey, he's the one who made me do it. He's like, you got to get taken care of. So.
Did the AC guy come? Did the plumbing guy come?
The new AC guy came, and he's got to come back on Tuesday because there's a microscopic leak, and he has to put in something to do something. Just lots of money to take care of it.
Whoever shows up is just going to have a paper box.
Exactly. So we're going to get started, guys. This is the nicer way of saying, shut the hell up. Exactly. Exactly. You're gone. Bang. I like that, the gong show. Yoga gong show. We're going to start lying down on our backs today. We're going to do some spinal mobilization. Spinal mobilization. We're going to work on moving the lumbar, the thoracic, and the cervical spine gently, of course.
That sounds very nice.
It doesn't sound nice.
Gentle part sounds good.
Doesn't that sound nice?
If I snore, don't wake me up.
I'm not going to He's like, that's sort of snoring.
So we're going to start lying down on our backs and just begin by taking a deep breath in through your nose to the bottoms of your lungs. As you exhale, just let go all of your day up until this point. Bring yourself to this moment and everything that's in it. The temperature of the air, the feel of the breath as it enters and exits, and the weight of your body as it lies on the floor. Take another deep inhale. As you exhale, see if you can release just 10% of the tension in your body. See if you can release just a little bit with each exhale. So today we're going to move through motions of the spine. We'll be fairly gentle class. We'll do a little bit towards the end that's more combined strengthening and motion, but you want to just gently move each of the segments of your spine. Everything in your body moves around your spine. So a healthy spine is always a benefit. So we're going to take a deep inhale. Let your arms rise up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, let them fall to the floor behind you. If you have shoulder pain, if that bothers your shoulder, just bend your elbows and slide your arms down so that they're about shoulder height, kind of like a field goal position. So as you inhale, reach back with your fingertips, reach forward with your heels, just wiggle your hips a little bit and allow your spine to just elongate, kind of like an accordion. Breathe deeply into your spine and then reach back even further with your fingertips. Reach forward with the heels and feel that lengthening. As you exhale, walk your left leg out to the left as far as you comfortably can. And then bring your right leg over to meet it. Take a deep inhale, reach back with your fingertips. As you exhale, walk your left hand out to the left. And then your right hand over to meet it. So you can stay right here. You're trying to keep your back flat against the floor. So you're not, that right hip shouldn't be raising up. You can stay right here or lift your right foot up and let it come to rest on top of your left. Just creating an anchor there. You can stay right as you are or take your left hand, hold onto your right wrist, and gently pull that right arm just a little bit further. You're taking just a little bit of side flexion of your spine. This isn't a motion we do often through the day, so just enjoy it. Find the position that you can bring your attention back to the breath. So as you breathe, feel that right rib cage open and expand. As you exhale, just melt, allowing the muscles to release. Breathing deeply again into your belly. feeling the expansion of that rib cage. Exhaling slowly. One more time. Use the breath to relax your body. Fill any area that you feel tightness in with the breath. And as you exhale, release any tension that you might find there. And then slowly release your right leg back to the center of your mat. Release your left leg back to meet it. Release your right arm back to the center over your head and your left arm back to meet it. As you inhale, reach back with your fingertips. Reach forward with the heels. Lengthen your spine. As you exhale, walk your right arm out to the right as far as you comfortably can. And then bring your left arm over to meet it. Your right leg slides out to the right as far as it comfortably can go, and then your left leg comes to meet it. So again, the left hip is down on the floor. You're not rotating here. You can grab that left wrist with your right hand if you'd like. You can lift that left foot up and let it come to rest on top of the right. You're just creating anchors at the top and bottom of the chain. And then close your eyes and take the deep inhale. Imagine that you're expanding any areas that feel tight or restricted. And as you exhale, you're releasing the tension. Each breath expands that rib cage, opens that spine just a little bit more. Each exhale melts. Breathing. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then gently release the left leg back to the center and release the right back to meet it. Your left arm comes back to the center over your head and your right arm comes back to meet it. Inhale, reach your fingertips back, reach the heels forward. As you exhale, just slowly let your left arm slide down the floor all the way back to meet your left hip. So now your right arm is up and overhead. Your left arm is down by your side. Bend your right elbow so that you can take your right hand over to the left side of your head. And as you exhale, gently use your right arm to pull your right ear towards your right shoulder. So you're just doing a small stretch of your cervical spine, of the muscles from that left ear to that left shoulder. If you'd like, you can slide your left hand down the floor, just create an anchor there. Gentle motion. We're side bending your cervical spine, just like we did your lumbar and thoracic just a moment ago. So no pinching, no pain. Breathe. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the sensations of that stretch. Feel the sensations of the breath entering the bottom of your lungs and slowly leaving them. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then release your hand from the top of your head. Gently allow your head to come back to the center. Your left arm slides up the floor like half of a snow angel, if you ever made those when you were a kid. Both arms are raised up and overhead. Reach back with your fingertips. Reach forward with the heel as you inhale. As you exhale, let your right arm slide down the floor, coming to meet your side down by the hip. So your left arm is up and overhead. You're bending the left elbow so that you can bring your left hand to the right side of your head and then gently draw your left ear towards your left shoulder. Breathing deeply into your belly. Exhaling slowly. No struggles and no strains. Breathe. Slide your right hand down towards the bottom of the mat if you'd like to anchor that pose and get a slightly deeper stretch. No struggles and no strains. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then release your left hand from the side of your head. Gently let your head come back to the center. Slowly with an inhale, your right arm slides up the floor to meet your left overhead and behind you. Inhale, your fingertips to the back of the room, the heel forward, create space. Exhale, draw your knees to your chest. Let your hands float down to draw your knees in. Shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. This is spinal flexion. When you bring your spine into a C shape, your knees towards your chest, you're flexing your spine. A little later, we'll do the opposite and extend your spine. Take a deep breath so that you feel your belly press into your thighs. As you exhale, see if you can draw your knee just a little bit deeper into your chest. And then release your right arm out to the side like half the letter T, both knees held with your left hand. With an exhale, slowly bring your knees across towards the left. So a small spinal twist. You can turn your head to the right to look at your right arm if it doesn't bother your neck. See if you can get both knees to rest on the floor. If they don't quite make it to the floor, slide a block or a pillow underneath of your knee, or just let your left arm rest underneath of that knee. So something to prop them up a little bit, to take some of the strain out of the pose if you're feeling strained. Breathe deeply into the air as you feel tight or restricted. Exhale slowly and melt into your pose. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale, just releasing the last little bits of tension. And then take a deep inhale to your belly. As you exhale, we're coming back onto your back, both knees hugged into your chest with your arms, shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed, breathing deeply, exhaling slowly. And then release your left hand down to the side like a half of the letter T. Your knees held in both knees held in your right hand. With an exhale, slowly let your knees come over to the right. All the way to the floor if you can make it. If not, slide a block or a pillow underneath of your knees, or just let your right arm be the thing that your right knee rests upon. You can turn your head to the left looking at your left arm if that doesn't bother your neck. And breathe. No struggles, no strains. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, gently roll onto your back. Bring both knees towards your chest. Your hands hold onto the knees and gently bring them into your chest. Breathing deeply, exhaling slowly. Releasing both hands from your knees, leaving your knees right up in the air. We're going to do a little bit of strengthening along with the mobility. So with your exhale, you're lowering your knees to the left. Pull your belly to your spine to create strength and control. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, your belly comes to your spine, your knees lift up and bringing them all the way over to the right. You can turn your head in the opposite direction of your knees. It just adds a little bit more of a twist to the spine. Once your knees touch the floor, take a deep inhale. With an exhale, bringing them up from the floor and all the way back over to the left. Turn your head to the right if it doesn't bother your neck. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, we're going to take them all the way back over to the right. Brilliant. We're going to stay right here on the right. So your knees are down to the floor on a pillow or on a block. Your arms are spread out in opposite directions. Try to bring your knees up towards the level of your belt. So we're going to do some thoracic rotation. In order for that to be effective, you have to have those knees pulled all the way up to about a level of the belt. So take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, bring your left arm up to the ceiling and all the way over to meet your right hand. So you'll be laying on your right side, your palms laying one on top of the other one. Take a deep inhale. The left arm raises to the sky. As you exhale, let it come to the floor behind you. This is rotating through your thoracic spine. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, the left arm raises up to the ceiling and all the way over to the right. One more time. Inhale, the left arm up to the ceiling. Really reach for the ceiling. Exhale, empty your lungs as your left hand comes to the floor behind you. And we're going to rest right there for just a moment. Take a deep inhale to your belly. With the exhale, pull the belly to the spine. Lift your knees to the sky and bring them all the way over to the left. So now you're just in that open position on the opposite side, the open book position. Knees are at about the level of your belt. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, raise your right arm up to the ceiling and all the way over to meet your left. So palms are resting one on top of the other. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale to the floor behind you. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, lift that right arm all the way to the ceiling and back down to meet the left, sorry. One more time, take a deep inhale, raise that right arm up, reach for the ceiling, bring it to the floor behind you. Take a deep inhale as you exhale, melt. Inhale to your belly. As you exhale, pull your belly to your spine, roll onto your back, bringing your knees up to the ceiling. Your arms are spread out to the sides, letters T. Slowly let your feet come down to the floor, both feet flat, both knees bent. Sliding your arms in by your sides, take a deep inhale to your belly. As you exhale, push down into the floor with your elbows and lift your hips from the ground for a bridge. So this is just a little bit of extension. We did flexion in the spine. This brings your spine in the opposite direction. Push your elbows down into the floor to help lift your hips a little bit higher. Look down to your knees and make sure that they're in line. They're not together or splayed apart. Bring your attention to your big toes. Make sure that they're gently pushing down into the floor. Squeeze your glutes and lift just a little higher. And then slowly lower one vertebra at a time to the floor. If you really purposefully and slowly lower your vertebrae one at a time to the floor, you're strengthening some muscles called your multifidi. They're really important in stabilization of your spine, so they're good ones to try and isolate. Deep inhale to your belly, belly to the spine, lift the hips, push down into your elbows. Squeeze your gluteal muscles tight. You can stay right there, or you can lift your hands in a prayer position towards the ceiling. If it feels like that's too much strain, just keep your elbows down, gently pushing into the floor to help support your pose. Squeeze your gluteal muscles and see if you can lift just a little higher. And then slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. Once your back is flat, take a deep inhale to your belly. As you exhale, pull the belly to the spine, lifting into that bridge again, either with your elbows pressing into the floor or your hands in a prayer position up towards the sky. Stay right here or lift your heels from the ground. So you have options. Find the one that feels like a challenge but not a struggle or a strain. Squeeze your gluteal muscles and lift just a little higher. Then lower the heels to the ground and slowly bring yourself one vertebra at a time to the floor. Once your back is flat to the floor, fill your belly with air. Take a really deep breath. As you exhale, belly to the spine, lifting your hips again, elbows pressing down to help you, or in prayer position to the sky. Stay right where you are, or lift your left leg, pointing the toes to where the wall meets the ceiling in front of you. Feel the strength of that pose, no struggle and no strain. Take the expression of the pose that feels good. Lowering that left foot to the floor, slowly bringing yourself one vertebra at a time down to the floor. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, push down into the floor with your elbows, lift your hips, pull that belly in for stabilization. So the elbows pressing down to the floor or raised to the ceiling, palms in prayer position. Stay there or lift your right leg, pointing the toes to where the wall meets the ceiling in front of you. No struggles and no strain. You may be able to do this on one side or not the other. That's perfectly fine. Lowering the right foot to the floor, gently bringing your spine down one vertebra at a time, and breathe. Pulling your knees into your chest, hold your hands behind your knees. Pulling them into your chest. If you'd like, you can just rock side to side a little bit. Take any strain that may have occurred. Fine. Let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw relax. And breathe. Breathe deeply. Exhale slowly. Then just let yourself rest on your back. And we're going to begin to rock. Beautiful. Bringing it up, floating on those sit bones. Lift your chest and lengthen your spine. Just holding on to the back of your knees. If that feels like struggle or strain, let your heels rest down on the floor. You're still getting strengthening. Rock it back. Bring it forward. Try to straighten out your left leg. Again, you can keep that right heel on the floor, but you're trying to make your spine strong and long. Lift your chest. You don't want to round yourself forward. Lift the chest and lengthen the spine. Rock it back. Bring it up. Same thing on the opposite side. Take your right leg and straighten it out, pointing your toes towards where the wall meets the ceiling. Keep that heel down on the floor if you'd like, or lift it an inch. Rock it back and bring it up. Stay right there where you are, or try to straighten out both legs, lifting that chest and lengthening. Breathing, rocking it back one more time, taking it up, straightening the legs, keeping there, or lifting your hands, the full boat pose. And breathe. And then slowly bring it to an easy seated position. So we'll just take a moment here to let the spine reset. So just take a deep inhale, lengthening your spine as if you're trying to reach the top of your head to the ceiling above, and breathing. Breathing deeply, exhaling slowly. On your next exhale, just bring yourself onto your hands and knees. Your hands will rest underneath of your shoulder. Your knees are underneath of your hips. If you have bad knees, just fold your mat in half. You can give yourself a little extra cushion underneath the knees. The fingertips are spread wide and pointed straight ahead of you. Try to turn the creases of your elbows forward. That locks your shoulders into a very safe and stable position. In any pose where you're bearing weight through your arms, if you turn the creases of your elbows forward, you'll be creating safety in that shoulder. You'll also be creating a lot of strength, functional strength. Let's take a couple of cat and cows just to move our spine through its full range of motion. Inhale, let your belly drop and lift your chin. Look up to the ceiling. As you exhale, round your spine, drop your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, push the air out. Connect your breath to your motion. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. One more time. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. And then bring it to a flat tabletop position. So your hands are right underneath your shoulders. Your hips are just above your knees. Take a deep inhale with an exhale. See if you can raise your right arm and your left leg. Looking forward to the right fingertips. Drop your left hip just an inch. Most of you have twisted it up. Bring it down just an inch. Look forward to your hands and then try to raise that hand and that leg up an inch. As you exhale, bring it underneath you, flexing your spine, rounding. As you inhale, reach out and up, extending. Exhale, bring it under. Inhale, extend. One more time. Exhale, bring it under. Push the air out, round your spine. Inhale one more time. Arch that back up and then bring the hand to the floor, bring the knee to the floor. Just reset. Make sure that the creases of your elbows stay forward. We're going to do the same on the opposite side. So with an inhale, your exhale, the belly comes to the spine, the left arm and the right leg reach out and forward. Look forward to the fingertips. See if you can raise them up. Inhale. Exhale, round your spine, push the air out. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it under. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it under. One more time. Inhale, really reach. Lift that arm and that leg. Exhale, bring it down and under. And then take it to a child's pose. Dropping your hips towards your heels, your forehead towards the floor. If this feels like it's too much pain or discomfort in your knee, just roll onto your back, pull your knees to your chest. You're doing the same thing. Or sit down, pull your knees to your chest, and let your chin just drop down. You're flexing that spine, you're really rounding it. And breathing. Don't forget the breathing. No struggles and no strains. If you want to progress the pose, separate your knees and let your chest fall further down. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. Just let the air drizzle out. Breathe. And then slowly bring your arms forward. Use your arms to help you press up, back onto all fours. Curling the toes of your feet under. We're going to push up into a down dog. Remember, the creases of your elbows turned forward can be helpful. If it feels like this is too much for your shoulders, just skip it or go down onto your elbows to take some of the strain out. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring your right foot between your hands and then drop down to your left knee. So your right foot is right between your hands, your left foot knee is bent and on the floor, and then bring yourself up. So you're just resting, lengthening your spine, giving it a moment to acclimate. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, your left elbow comes to your right knee. Just gently pushing into your hands to try and get a deeper rotation throughout your lumbar and thoracic spine. No struggles here and no strains. Breathe deep into your belly. Exhale slowly. You can stay right here or curl the toes of your left foot under and lift your left knee from the floor. Breathe. Squeeze that back leg straight if you're lifting it up off of there and feel the strength of the pose. And then drop that left knee back to the floor. Slowly bringing yourself back up. Breathing. Closing your eyes for a moment and just feel the strength of this pose as it is. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, slowly start to slide into your right knee. So just bending that right knee and bringing that right knee forward. A small arch back. Stay right here, or with an inhale, raise your arms to the sky, taking your extension just a little bit deeper. Breathing. No struggles and no strains. Staying right here or opening your arms like wings to the back of the room, taking your extension even deeper. If it bothers your neck to look up, just look straight ahead. That's perfectly fine. Stay here or curl the toes of your left foot under and lift that left knee from the floor for crescent lunge. And breathe. Feel the strength of the pose. Find your breath. No struggles and no strains. Slowly lowering that left knee back to the ground, hands back to heart center, and breathe. You can stay right here, or take your right hand and rest it on top of your left knee. Take your left hand back and reach for that left ankle, pulling that ankle towards your hip. This is an optional movement. You're still getting the strengthening if you just have that leg down. You're just not stretching your quadricep. That's perfectly fine. No struggles and no strains. Release that left foot to the ground. Frame your right foot with both hands, and let's kick it back into down dog. If you're skipping down dog, you can just come onto your knee on the opposite side. We're all going to be there in a moment. Breathe. Inhale your left leg up to the sky. Bring your left foot between your hands and then drop your right knee. Flatten out the top of your right foot and then bring yourself up. Just breathing here for a moment. Taking your hands into heart center. In a prayer position, your right elbow comes to the outside of your left knee. Curl the toes of you can stay right here, pushing into your hands and rotating just a little further, or curl the toes of your right foot under and lift that right knee from the floor. Find the expression of the pose that gives you a challenge, but not a struggle. Feel the strength of the pose. Feel the twist of the spine. Find your breath here. If you've straightened out that leg, go ahead and bring it back to the floor and bring yourself back to the front. Breathing. Taking a deep inhale. Arch up and back. No struggles, no strains. If it bothers your neck, just look straight ahead. If it bothers your shoulders, just bring them out to the sides like football goalposts. Find the expression of the pose you can hold with ease. Stay here or open your arms to the back like wings. Breathe. Stay here or curl the toes of your right foot under and lift that right knee from the floor into crescent lunge. No struggles and no strains. Breathe. Lowering that right knee to the floor, frame your left foot, and let's take it back to down dog. Lifting your heels from the floor, dropping your knees down and bring it up into thunderbolt. So you're just on knees. Again, you can fold your mat in half. Just bring your hands to heart center here. Close your eyes for a moment and just bring your awareness to the moment in which you are. Taking a deep inhale here. Exhale, take your left foot out to the left. The big toe side of your foot rests on the floor, or if you want to stretch the outside ligaments of that ankle, just try and flatten that left foot all the way out. It's a really good stretch for the lateral ankle. We don't get that stretch often. Squeeze that quadricep muscle tight. Get that left leg really straight. And then inhale your arms to the ceiling. As you exhale, drop your left hand down to your left leg. Your right arm reaches up and over. You can look at your right arm if it doesn't bother your neck. We're doing that lateral flexion of your spine again. Breathing. Take a deep inhale. Really reach for the windows. No struggles and no strains. As you exhale, bring it back up to straight. Your left hand comes to meet your right, bringing them both down into the center of your chest in a prayer position. And then we're going to switch sides. So your right knee comes underneath of you. Your left leg comes out to the side. The big toe side pushing down into the floor, or flatten the foot completely. Inhaling your arms to the sky. Exhaling your right hand down. Your left arm reaches up and over. Make sure your chest is facing the wall in front of you, not the floor. Looking up at your left arm if it doesn't bother you. That lateral flexion. And breathe. No struggles and no strains. Breathe deeply into your belly. Exhale slowly and see if you can reach just a little further without struggle, without strain. And then with an exhale, bring your right hand back up to meet your left. Bring your hands down to heart center. Bring your knees back underneath of you. We're going to prepare for Camel. So Camel is going to be very different for everybody. I like to curl my toes under to stretch the bottoms of my feet. I like to bring my hands to the back of my sacrum. So the sacrum is just the small bone at the very bottom of your spine. And with an exhale, just look up, a small bend back. If it bothers your neck, don't even look back. Just look forward. I don't care how far back you go. This is the opposite direction that the most of us spend 90% of our day in. We're usually in a flexed position, our knees towards our chest. So be gentle with your spine. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, slowly bring yourself back up. So this is one where you can use your block to progress it if you want, or just we're going to do the exact same thing. So either keeping your hands right there on your sacrum with an exhale bending back, or trying to bring your hands to a block to help support and progress your pose. No struggles here, no strains, breathing deeply into the very bottom of your lungs. Exhaling slowly. And then with your next exhale, bring yourself all the way back up. We're going to do it one more time, either taking your hands and leaving them on your sacrum, taking them to the block, or taking them all the way to your heels. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, find the expression of the pose you can hold with ease. Without struggle, without strain, breathing deeply, exhaling slowly. One more deep inhale, one more slow exhale, taking yourself down and into child's pose. So dropping your heels all the way to your hips all the way to your heels. I don't know why I can't get that word out correctly. Folding forward, spreading your knees apart to bring your chest closer to the floor. If this bothers you, just roll onto your back, pull your knees to your chest, or sit down, bringing your knees into your chest and your chin towards your knees. And breathe. Feel your spine just gently expanding with the breath and releasing tension with the exhale. No struggles and no strains. One more deep breath. See if you can feel that breath expanding your belly, pressing into the thighs. Your rib cage is out to the side and to the back. And then slowly slide your arms forward. Slowly begin to bring yourself onto your belly so that you're lying flat down onto your stomach. Make a pillow with your hands. Turn your head in one direction or the other and just breathe. Allowing your muscles to relax for a moment. No struggles and no strains. Breathing deeply into your belly. As you exhale, melting into the floor. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then slowly just push yourself up onto your elbows. So your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Your hands are out in front. Spread your fingers and reach for your dog's nose. Oh, I just couldn't resist. So your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Your hands are spread out. You create a suction with your hands. So imagine that you're pulling yourself forward, but just pulling through your hands. What you're trying to do is gently pull your lumbar spine away from your sacrum. If you just pull back with your hands, that'll decompress. If you let your hips just wiggle, you'll make sure that you're not contracting them or squeezing them. Breathe. Look up to the sky. So you're doing extension again. This is a little back bend in the spine. Again, not a position we spend a lot of time in, so one that you want to approach gently. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, see if you can pull back into the hands, just creating space in that low back one more time. Staying right here where you are or lifting your elbows from the floor. So if you've lifted your elbows, be careful that you're not pulling your shoulders up to your ears. Gently pull your shoulders down and away from your ears. Keep your hips relaxed. Just give a little wiggle, a little jiggle. Jello brand gelatin. Today's class is sponsored by Jello Bring your elbows back down, all the way to the floor. Make a pillow with your hands and turn your head in the opposite direction. And breathe. Breathe deeply into your belly. Exhale slowly, melting into the floor. We're moving the spine in a lot of directions that it's not used to being into, so just be gentle here. With your next exhale, come back up onto your elbows, spread those hands apart, create the suction and the traction, gently pulling yourself forward, breathing, staying right here or lifting your heels to meet each other, the palms of your feet looking up to the sky, breathing deeply. This is a little bit more extension. Staying right here or lifting your elbows from the floor. Breathe. Shoulders down and away from your ears, look up to the sky. And then slowly lower down, make a pillow. Turn your head in one direction or the other. So next we're going to do a little bit of extension in your lower lumbar spine. That was more of a mid-lumbar spine. So the lower lumbar spine, again, just be cautious. So you're going to have choices here. You're either just going to lift your left leg from the floor, just holding it up in the air using your muscles, or bend your right knee so that your right foot becomes a shelf to lift your left leg up onto. No struggles and no strains. This is a little bit of rotation along with extension of the very lowest part of your lumbar spine. Breathe. If you're just lifting the leg, drop it whenever you feel like it, and then lift it again. We've got one more deep inhale here. We've got one more slow exhale. And then lower that left leg back down to the ground, straightening out both legs. Just doing one side, you're going to lift the right one, just lifting it from the floor. You're still getting the extension. You're just doing it with muscle. Or bend your left knee. The bottom of your left foot becomes a shelf that your right thigh comes to rest on. And breathe. Strains, remember. Be gentle with the spine. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then slowly release that right leg back to the ground. Both legs are flat. Turn your head in whatever direction you like and just assume a relaxed position. Breathing into the belly so that you feel your belly expand. As you exhale, just melt. So we're going to take a couple extra minutes just to rest here. Isn't that nice? It must be somebody's birthday or something. Well, it was National Scrapple Day the other day, and in celebration, we'll take an extra minute of just relaxation. We're going to go through the Warrior series in a moment, and that is the ultimate in movement of your spine. So if you're someone that feels stiff in the spine, you really want to use yoga to manage that. Going through the Warrior series is a good way to do it. It does forward bending, it does back bending, it does twisting in each direction. So it moves your spine at every motion that's available to it. One of the great problems in this world, in my opinion, is that we don't use our bodies in the way that they were designed to be used. We sit in a chair with the back of the chair supporting it, so we're not using the muscles. The spine doesn't move more than to twist and turn your head over your shoulder and say, "Hey, girl," and go back to work. So our spines are designed for movement, and they will be the healthiest if you move them through all of their ranges of motion. Let your arms come by your side, thumbs pointing into your armpits, elbows pointing up to the sky. Curl the toes under. Lift your knees from the floor. Pull your belly to lift up into a plank. So plank can be done with the knees on the floor. That's perfectly fine. Creases of your elbows are forward. Let's take it up to down dog and back to plank. Up to down dog and back to plank. One more time, taking it to down dog. Then we're going to walk or step your feet forward to meet your hands. Straightening your legs for a forward fold. Slowly rounding up one vertebra at a time. Once your head rises up to neutral, bring your hands to the heart center, and let's just find our spine in gravity here. So everything we've been doing has kind of eliminated gravity. It's best to do it that way because those gravitational muscles, the ones that help you stand up straight, also are guarding and limiting motion of the spine. So when we do all those things like we just did without having to worry about gravity, they have a little bit more freedom of movement. Take a deep inhale into your belly. Well, first walk to the front of your mat. Give yourself some space. Take a deep inhale to your belly and lift the left leg up to the sky. So your knee is just about the level of your hip. Pull your belly to your spine and drop that left hip a little bit. And then shoot that left foot back, turning it out about 10, 15 degrees. And the right knee bends. So the idea here is have that heel of your right foot and the heel of your left foot in the same line. If your balance is poor, just take your foot out to the side a little bit. It'll help. The right knee is bent. Let's just loosen up that knee a little bit. So inhale, straighten the knee. Exhale, bend it. Inhale, straighten it. Exhale, bend it. One more time, inhale, straighten. One more time, exhale and bend and find your warrior one. The arms come up to the ceiling. If that doesn't bother your shoulders, you can always take them out to the sides like field goals. It's perfectly fine. Looking up and between your fingers, we're doing lumbar extension and breathing. Squeeze that back leg straight. Feel the strength of the pose. And then open it to warrior two, your fingertips reaching in opposite directions. We're taking a small twist in the spine. Turn the palms of your hands up. Keep the creases of your elbows turned up, and then just turn the hands down. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, left hand goes back, right arm goes up. Side bending and extension. Beautiful. Breathe into this rib cage on that right side. As you exhale, take your right elbow to your knee. Take your left arm up and over. Side bending in the opposite direction. Breathe into that left rib cage. Feel the stretch. No struggles and no strains. As you exhale, take it back to warrior two. Creases of your elbows turned up, palms facing down. Take it back to warrior one. Take your arms back and behind you. Interlace your fingers, extending, reaching up, and then forward folding over that leg. Staying right here or lifting your arms from your hips. Slowly lowering your arms to your hips and then to the floor to frame your right foot. Stepping your right foot back to meet your left in down dog. Looking forward to your hands, either step or jump your feet to meet your hands. Straightening your legs for a forward fold. Slowly rounding up one vertebra at a time. Hands come to heart center. Just close your eyes for a moment and find length in your spine. Create space with your next inhale, reaching the top of your head towards the sky. Oh, hello. Hello. As you exhale, bring your right knee up, finding balance. Drop your right hip just a little bit. Take a deep inhale. With the exhale, shoot that right foot back, turning it out about 15 degrees. Left knee bends. Let's inhale, straighten the left knee. Exhale, let it bend. Inhale, straighten it. Exhale, let it bend. One more time. Inhale, straighten it. With the bend, let the arms rise up. Small arch back, if that's okay for your spine. And breathe. The back leg is straight and strong. Squeeze it tight. Feel the muscles. Breathe. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, right hand goes back, left hand goes forward, warrior two. Palms up. Then keep those creases of your elbows up and turn the palms down, reaching in opposite directions. With your exhale, the right hand goes back, the left arm comes. Breathe into that rib cage. Feel the stretch. As you exhale, left elbow to left knee, right arm up and over, reaching for where the wall meets the ceiling, your chest facing the wall in front of you. Opening that rib cage with a deep inhale. Exhale, take it back to warrior 2, back to warrior 1. Bringing your arms back and behind you, interlace your fingers, reach for the floor, lift your chin and chest, and then fold over that front knee. Inhale, reaching your arms up to the ceiling. Exhaling them, dropping to your hips and then to frame the left foot. Step the left foot back to meet the right. In down dog. Lift your heels from the ground, drop your knees, and bring yourself to child's pose. Breathe. Breathe deeply into your belly. Exhale slowly, melting into your pose. Feel the rib cage expand. One more deep inhale here. Exhale slowly. And then gently bring yourself up to an easy seated position and then onto your back for final relaxation. So just bringing yourself into a supine position on your back. If you'd like something underneath of your knees to support your back, just bend your knees and I will roll a ball underneath of you. It's really good if you have back issues to decompress the spine. Just by virtue of the position alone, it takes pressure off the spine, which takes pressure off the discs and the nerves. So if you'd like a ball underneath your knees, leave your knees bent and I will bring you one. I don't have one to match your beautiful outfit today. I'm sorry. There you go. You want one? Aye. So just close your eyes here and take a deep breath into the very bottom of your lungs. Exhaling slowly. Melting into the mat with each exhale. I'm going to ask you to bring into mind a little visualization. If you're not one of those people that can visualize in your mind, just follow along with your breath. But what I would like you to do is imagine that you're lying down on the ground and there's a fire. Right at the very base of your feet. You can see that crackling orange and amber light. You can feel the warmth on the bottoms of your feet. Let that warmth just relax the bottoms of your feet. See if you can feel that warmth and bring your attention to it. As you take a deep breath in through your nose to the bottoms of the lungs, imagine that that breath is drawing that warmth up over the tops of your feet and your ankles. Imagine that it's soothing any aches. It's relaxing any tension. Your next breath, as you draw it deep into the bottom of your lungs, pulls that warmth, that amber glow up and over your calves to the knees. Imagine that it's energizing the muscles, that it's relieving tension and tightness. Taking your next deep breath into the very bottom of your lungs, that warmth is drawn up over your knees and into your thighs and your hips. See if you can imagine that warm and amber light just filling your legs, soothing, energizing. Your next breath draws that warmth up over the hips, into the belly and the low back, melting away tension. Melting worries and fears. Easing strains. Imagine that next breath draws that warmth up through your feet, across your legs, your hips, your belly, your low back, into the fingers, the lower rib cage, the forearms. Revitalizing, healing. Your next breath draws that warmth across your lower body, your hips, your forearms and hands, into the chest and the shoulders. Reinvigorating the very cellular structure, melting tensions, easing judgments of yourself or others, fears for the future, worries about the present. Taking one more breath, imagine that warmth is drawn up through the feet, across your legs and your trunk, into the shoulders, the neck, and across the top of your head, enveloping your entire body in that warmth. And then slowly just allow yourself to release that visualization and just bathe in the ease, in the stillness of your mind and the stillness of your body. Any thought that crosses your mind, any distraction that enters, let it be noticed but not attached to. Breathe. Well, slowly start to bring your attention back to your body. begin by wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes, just feeling those joints as they move. Then spread your fingers wide and spread your toes apart and bring your attention to the space between your fingers, the space between your toes. And curl your hands into a fist, curl your toes under, and just bring your awareness to the skin as it stretches over the tops of your knuckles, as it stretches over the tops of your feet. Let your hands relax, let your feet relax. Gently just let your head begin to rock from side to side as you just move it easily. Bring your attention to the movement of your neck, this gentle stretch of the muscles. And then let your head come to whatever position is comfortable for it. As you take a deep inhale, let your arms rise up and overhead. As you exhale, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. As you inhale, begin to stretch, reaching your fingertips back, reaching your heels forward, moving in whatever way feels comfortable to you. Like a big yawn the first thing in the morning where you just move and stretch your body in whatever way feels good. As you exhale, draw your knees into your chest. Let your arms float down to wrap around your knees. Shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. Gently rocking side to side. And then when you're ready, rolling over onto your right side, lying in a fetal position for just another breath cycle. So make yourself comfortable, your knees drawn up towards your chest, your neck supported using a pillow or your hands or a block to support your head, and then take a deep breath into your belly. As you exhale, notice the sensation of the breath as it leaves your body. And then when you're ready, push yourself up to an easy seated position. One where your spine is tall and long. Let the backs of your hands come to rest on the tops of your knees. Take a deep, lengthening inhale. I was going to say email. Take a deep, lengthening inhale. As you exhale, see if you can hold that tall and lengthened posture with ease. As you take another deep inhale, lengthen your spine even further. And as you exhale, let your hands float into your heart center in a prayer position. Your thumbs gently against your chest. Your chin drops gently down. You guys have done a fantastic job once again. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. Go out and enjoy it. We're having our winter. Yay!
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you guys.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome.
Thank you, Lola.
Thank you,
So I
Lolita.
did get a great pic of you and her.
Yeah.
Are you taking pictures during yoga?
I did.
During
They
final
were-
relaxation?
Definitely were.
There's always a troublemaker in the class.
Can you sign that form? that
Yes.
form?
All right now. Bye-bye.
Aw.
Oh, bye-bye. I
Oh,
forgot to.
oh, I want that picture.
Absolutely.
Please, please.
Oh, there it is. I wonder who was watching. Hey there. Hi there. Ho there.
Mine even made it into the pic.
Bye-bye now.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that.